I ended up basically kind of falling into like a hole, right? And for someone who is usually pretty positive and has a lot of energy, like the light just kind of got snuffed out. And I realized that the only thing that kind of got me out of it was being able to talk with my therapist and talk with certain friends of mine about really confronting my mortality and being like, I could die from this. Like, I might not be here in a year. And the odds say I'm not going to be here in 5. And what does that mean? And how am I living my life? I realized for me that basically I needed to stop thinking about what the future was going to happen, because I really needed to get all of the strength that I had and put it into fighting this thing right now. And that meant mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I held on to this quote, "Worry doesn't empty tomorrow of its sorrows, it only empties today of its strength." And I was like, I got to bring my A game to like my life right now, and I need to stop worrying about what's happening in the future. When people were like, I don't know how she does it. And they're just like, you're working full time, you're like still running, you're like not crying all day or like hiding in bed. How do you do it? And I was like, I'm just doing the things that I've always kind of done and trying to stay in the present. But then you look at that little sliver of what you can control and you think about, how can I maximize what I can control? How can I take that sliver and give the most to it? Think about what you can control. You can control the number of calls you make, right? The number of emails you send out. You can control the amount of research you do before your calls, the prep that you put into a QBR, thinking about the best way to structure a POC. You can control like how to learn and develop as a salesperson and how to read up on stuff and become like a master of your craft. All of that stuff is within your control, even though it's a small sliver in the big scheme. Do all the things is one of the things I talk about. So when I'm thinking about whether or not, I'm going to be looking at my life, no matter how long it is, and going, man, I really did it. I want to look back on all the memories, and the things that create memories that actually stick are experiences that heighten your senses, experiences that elicit emotion, and experiences that basically make you feel like you are in the flow of the present moment and basically give you all the feels. For some people, it can be spending time with their family or their kids or their dogs, or it could be cooking or gardening. For me, it's basically, I have a lot of energy, as you guys can see. I always have. And I have been one to seek out adventure my whole life. Since I was 15, I've had a life list. And it wasn't a bucket list. It wasn't like, this is what I want to do before I die. It was just like, this is like cool stuff that I want to do. You can see also this year, I checked off not only go on an African safari, but I also checked off meeting Sandra Bullock, which I put on my life list, no joke, when I was 16 years old. And I met her in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, like in the bar, this year when I went there after I finished chemo. I believe that the universe will deliver what you want, but you have got to be freaking hella specific and get that stuff down on paper. I'm serious. You got to write it down in order for it to happen. So tonight, go to bed without regrets. Give 110% to what you can control. Think about the things that you can do in Q3. Be present here today. Like, soak in everything that you can. Don't just meander through life and just, go through the motions, right? Do the things. Look at your life list. Add to it. Check them off. Add more things to it. Add stupid things to it. But go do the things that light you up. Don't go on investing time and money in the things that light other people up or appear to light them up based on like their Instagram profile, right? Do the stuff that lights you guys up. And then be vulnerable. Be human. Build connections with people at work. Look at your relationships personally and think about, where can I apologize where I've been wrong? Who can I reconnect with? Because what if they're not here tomorrow? What regrets would I have? Right? I don't know how long I'm going to be here. You guys don't know either. I could outlive all of you. That's the real truth, and I probably will. And the people who make fun of sales awards like I did in the beginning are typically the people who don't have the confidence to believe that they could actually do it. So if you want to go get an award that was handed out last night, go get it. If you want to be a quota crusher in Q3, go get it. If you want to get promoted, go get it. If you want to attack those things on your life list, go get it. Go get it. Don't waste any time. Thank you.